And the age-old question about the matric results often is, are they a reliable indicator of the quality of education in South Africa and the overall output and performance of those who matriculate in a given year? Hendrick Makaneta, who is an education activist, joins us to unpack this. Hendrick, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Those who are matriculating in 2024, those who are expecting their results tomorrow, would have started their high school careers in the year 2020, a tumultuous year where there were a lot of disruptions in the year 2020 and carrying over into 2021. They would have not had an easy road. How reliable is their output tomorrow as an indicator of the overall strength and health of the education system?
Definitely, Oliver, you know, there's been a lot of challenges. You'll recall that at some point, even the teaching plan was revised for that class of 2020, wherein they did not do everything that they needed to do in terms of what is expected in the curriculum. But over the years, I think immediately after COVID left the country, we saw a lot of work being done, especially during weekends as well. Some of the learners were able to attend on weekends, during which they had sufficient time to catch up on lost programs. And I have no doubt that the results that will be released tomorrow will be a true reflection of what the learners have gone through during the course of their studies.
Various provinces like the Western Cape, for instance, had a catch-up program that they've been running for several years since the disruptions of COVID. Is tomorrow a litmus test on the success and efficacy of such programs?
Yes, indeed. Provinces such as Western Cape and Gauteng have always taken a lead when it comes to the resources. These are the two provinces which almost at 80% of their programs running during COVID because their learners were able to access gadgets which allowed them to attend lessons via Zoom. You'll recall that it was during that period that the teaching was done online in most of the schools in the province of Western Cape. And that is why I believe that these two provinces will always have that unfair advantage of taking a lead when the results are announced as compared to rural provinces such as the Eastern Cape as well as the Limpopo province, where they are still lacking when it comes to the necessary resources that we need for learning and teaching.
Yeah. Let's talk about rural provinces, because that's always where the focus really seems to be most stark, and there are vast differences. If you compare rural parts of the Free State, for instance, it exponentially outperforms the rest of the country compared to if you look at parts of rural Eastern Cape, for instance, which performs the worst consistently in the country. But very specifically, the Eastern Cape last year had celebrated its first time since democracy achieving a above 80% pass rate in the province, which is at comparatively a big achievement for the province. How do we look at the results of rural provinces, given that there are other systematic problems associated to matric and education performances, such as the efficacy of school nutrition programs, infrastructure developments, scholar transport systems, inclement weather conditions, and the likes? Hendrick?
Well, there is no doubt that if you look at Free State province, there has been consistent work when the previous, the late MEC and Tatemakwe was able to come up with measures to make sure that our learners are drilled, particularly grade 12. Remember that this test will look at how grade 12 learners performed. And in that province, particularly in mathematics and science, there were a lot of programs which were led by also non-governmental organizations. So the Provincial Education Department there was able to collaborate with many of these NGOs which train teachers for mathematics and science, as well as doing reinforcement of the teaching of maths and science in most of the schools, particularly during afternoons as well as weekends. There were, this project resulted in the Free State taking a lead compared to others, because they were doing exactly what Gauteng was doing in terms of their strategy. And there is no doubt that they too, we may see them continuously, taking a lead because of the extra work that they put. They don't just teach in the classroom and that's it, but they are also able to, reinforce this teaching and learning during camps whereby NGOs, as I've said, are invited, to come and deliver content.
Yeah. Hendrick Makaneta, thank you so much for your time and your insights. I really do appreciate it. That is education activist Hendrick Makaneta. Let's take a break. On the other side of this, we continue with the program.